Hello, this is Tony. This is my fifth video, I think, maybe about my cancer, my fifth vlog, and I'm talking today about depression. And on the whole, I would say that I'm a fairly pragmatic, level kind of emotional, maybe even lacking a bit of emotional, activity. I'm not brilliantly good um, at understanding other people's emotions, never mind my own. But obviously, you end up with all sorts of states of feeling when you get your diagnosis, and then over the course, knowing that you've got a terminal illness, even if it's not going to be this year, it just doesn't help at all, does it? And I'd like to talk about depression, even though I've not really suffered from it hugely. Um, Hopefully I've got some insights a little bit that might be helpful. So, firstly, I think when you're first told and given your diagnosis, so the one thing to be told you've got cancer, completely different thing to be told you've got cancer and it's so bad that you're not going to get better. We can't fix you. You're going to die. Sorry to be a bit blunt, but yeah. And that latter situation, where you think, oh, wow, really? Gosh. Because I've got friends who are my age and have had cancer, and then, they've had treatment, maybe a bit of an operation, a bit of chemotherapy, and they're right as rain again. And to be told that you've got cancer, but yours isn't like theirs at all, yours is really bad, and you go, I can't really process this. I don't know really what to, what to think. So obviously it takes a bit to get used to the idea. And of course, some people are very emotional, and I'm probably not. But I must admit that it's one of those things that I have found everything's overwhelmed me a little bit. There are times when I've cried, and not very often, but a few times I've cried, and I guess I found maybe that helped a bit, or maybe I just didn't understand why I was crying, and I was just glad when it stopped. But there's definitely been times, during the course of what happens, when your PSA number for your prostate antigen number goes up, then you can't help but feel depressed about it. My latest drug, enzalutamide, has not worked as well in the last month as it might do, and my PSA's gone up from 14 to 22 in a month, so it's jumped 50%. Now, it's not dreadfully high as far as things go, and only a tenth of what it has been at times in the past, but obviously it's indicating that things aren't going so well, and I've got another one later this month, and we'll just have to see what that has. But I must admit that makes you a little bit depressed and upset, and that's obviously not good. I mentioned in an earlier vlog, I probably haven't seen that one, that I had a very bad reaction to a drug called clonazepam, and I certainly found that very depressing when I wasn't able to drive, and I wasn't able to work for a bit, and I was just really paranoid and a bit off my head at times because of it, taking it and coming off it, and I found that was very depressing. And so I generally find that events like that, where you get a diagnosis saying that it's not, things aren't very good, they're the bits that depress me more than anything else. The things that's not, yeah, depressed me a little bit. People saying, "Oh, how are you? How are things going? Tell us about the treatment. Hopefully, it's all going well and you're feeling much better now." And yeah, that's really difficult to kind of know quite how to react with. You know, you've got some people that you're quite close to and you might be a little bit more honest about, and other people who you're more distant from, and you just really just don't want to go through the emotional part of just trying to explain to them the situation, because once you do, then of course they don't know how to react to you, and I find that a bit depressing as well. You know, and what can you do? It's not their fault, is it, that they don't really know how to react to it, and not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just, difficult like this. People don't really have much practice in knowing how to deal with it, do they? And certainly, nobody has practice dealing with, being told that they've got a terminal illness. It's like the old parachute joke, isn't it? If you're not very good at parachuting, then give it a rest. Don't that's enough. But there we go. I'm going to finish on one final thing with this vlog, and that's a chap called Anthony Robbins, and he has a bunch of stuff. He's one of these lifestyle gurus that can help you kind of understand yourself, plan your life, do all sorts of amazing things if you manage to set your mind to it and believe in it. And I've done, I've read some of his stuff in the past, and I kind of found it a bit helpful. And on one of his videos, CDs probably, that I was listening to, he had this to say. He said, if you don't decide what it's going to take for you to enjoy yourself, then how do you know that you've actually enjoyed yourself? You almost have to plan ahead and decide what's it going to take for something to be a 10 out of 10 experience. And if you've not decided that, and you're a bit depressed and sad, and you go off and do something, then it's all kind of a bit blur, isn't it? And you go and do it, and you come back and you've done it, but you're still not feeling very good. But if it's one of those things that if you decide that if you go out and you have a nice meal and you talk to your friends and you meet a whole bunch of different criteria, and that's going to be a 10 out of 10 experience, and that's going to be fantastic, then I find that you kind of kid yourself into it, and you come back and you say, oh, well, that was brilliant, because I met all my goals as thought it was going to be, and I decided that if the meal was nice and I had a lovely chat and everything was good, then that was going to be a 10 out of 10 experience. And so it was, and I'd say to you that, if you're going to go out and do something tomorrow or the weekend or whenever, what does it take for that experience to be a 10 out of 10 experience? And think about it beforehand, what things it's going to take. And then after you've had it, don't forget at the time that you're experiencing it, you also have to realize that yes, I've met my 10 out of 10 criteria, so of course I must be enjoying it, and so you do enjoy it. And if that all sounds like a bit like gobbledygook, all I can say is it works damn well for me. It really does. And so by that method, you can almost kind of think yourself out of depression, can't you? You have to decide what's it going to take for me to not be depressed and enjoy myself. And if I can, meet those criteria and it's going to happen, then I'm bloody well going to be happy and not depressed. And bizarrely, that works for me. I can make that happen. And I don't know if you can do it for you. But if you can, and this has been helpful, then how good has that been? Yeah, how good has that been? So anyway, if you've watched this, it's another 8 or 9 minutes of me talking dribble at the camera again about myself and everything. But hopefully you might have had some benefit from it, and I'll say thanks ever so much, and bye for now.